guys, so sorry that I've been gone for so long on this channel. I'm so sorry. I honestly didn't know what to film, and I have a haul video planned, but I'm waiting to get a few items. So I came up with a cool idea. I know that a lot of people have a lot of questions about going into college and everything like that, and I've seen a bunch of videos, but not too many by people on the college application process, so I thought that that would be an interesting video to film. Basically, this video is just going to be my advice on the college application process and also my college decision, because I know that a bunch of people are very curious as to where I am going to school next year. Now, if you do follow me on some of my personal social media, you might know where I'm going, but if not, you guys are kind of curious probably. Let's just get on to the video, and then I will let you guys know where I'm going at the end, so stay tuned until then to find out where I will be headed next year. Tips on the college application process. My number one tip would definitely be to start early. I started so late in the college application process. I mean, not so late compared to some people, but I did start relatively late, and I felt like I was kind of rushed for time, and I didn't do as much as I really wanted to, and I didn't put as much effort into the essay and all of that other stuff that is really important to get into good schools. So I feel like if I did start a few months earlier, maybe over the summer, planning more about my essay and everything like that, and figuring out what schools I wanted to go to and researching that, I definitely feel like I would have had a better chance getting into schools that I was more interested in. Giving yourself more time definitely lets you prepare more. It lets you consult other people on their advice for you on your essay and for other things, so I definitely think that that is my number one tip. Number two is to apply to a wide range of schools, because I don't know about you guys, but I live in New York right now and I want to go to California for school, so I applied to New York and California schools, partially because my mom really wanted me to, but I don't know, I really don't want to go in New York. But say that you apply to schools that are out of your state, it is harder to get into them, so I definitely feel like applying to schools in-state as well is a good option, and give yourself at least one school that you wouldn't mind going to for at least a year or so, and then maybe transferring out from there if you did not get into your top schools. So say that you live in New York like I did, but you wanted to go to school in I don't know, North Carolina or something like that. I would definitely apply to schools around the East Coast, because that is typically where I think you would want to be if you're applying to schools in North Carolina, or warmer schools. So if you were to apply North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, and then maybe a Florida school. I don't know if you want to go that far south, but I definitely feel like giving yourself a wide range of schools, public, private, and all the different options really helps you make a better decision in the end. So personally, I applied to 7 schools. But I know people that apply to 14 schools, 20 schools, that's insane. Personally, for me, I feel like the fees are so much just to put an application in, but if you have the money, then go for it. But having to send in your test scores and your actual application, it costs a lot of money. So I definitely feel like if you just narrow it down to a solid 10 schools is good. I didn't actually have 10 schools that I really wanted to apply to, so I ended up applying to 7. I thought that was fine for me. But if you give yourself options, that's definitely a very good idea, because you don't know how many you're going to be accepted into. So if you have those backups, then that is always a great option. In case you're curious, the 7 schools that I did apply to was SUNY Oneonta, SUNY Stony Brook, because I do live in New York, so I get the in-state fees. And then in California, I applied to 5 schools. I applied to Chapman University, University of Southern California, Loyola Marymount University, California State University at Long Beach, and Pepperdine University. And I was really happy with those. I actually visited them all, which is my third tip, to visit these schools that you are applying to, or at least the ones that you get accepted into. You don't have to visit all of the ones you're applying to, but at least when you get accepted into schools, definitely visit them. I know me and my friends, we all visited our schools that we were deciding on, because especially if it's going to be a close decision between 2 schools and you hadn't visited one, there's no way you're going to know if you're going to fit into that school or not. So by visiting them, you can tell if that's the right atmosphere for you, and if you like that size campus and where it is located in the city. That is definitely my number one tip probably, to visit the schools, because if without me visiting the schools in California, I would never have known where I'd want to go, because I had no idea what the schools were like out there. I never visited a college out there. I'd only visited a few in New York, and I really liked them here, but then when I went out there, they were completely different, I have to say. Schools in New York and schools in California are so different, it's insane. So I am really glad that I ended up visiting those over my February break. Tip number 4 is to narrow down what you like in a school. Write it down on a list or something like that. Do you want public or private? Is there a cost range that you have? Is there a specific area you want, a city school or a suburban school, which is in the middle of nowhere, in the country or something like that? or do you want like a school with like 30,000 kids, or do you want a school with like 5,000 kids? That's definitely a big difference, and that made a difference for me as well, because I was not sure which I wanted. I wasn't sure if I wanted a huge school or not, or like an in-between school, and I definitely feel like, I mean, obviously where I got accepted is a different story, but like helping me figure out where I did want to go in the first place would have been easier if like I knew how big of a school I wanted. A lot of people do have a clear-cut like idea of that, but I really didn't. So thinking that over and like checking out the schools will really help you get a feel for if you like having like so many people, or if that overwhelms you, then like do you want a smaller amount of people. Schools I applied to were like on a huge range of like 3,000 to like 36,000 kids, so that's definitely a huge difference in like applications. And I hope I'm not talking too much, I'm sorry, I probably am, but I just wanted to give you guys like advice that I maybe didn't have in the beginning. I know schools give you advice, but like they're not always the best helper as somebody who's actually going through the process. And yeah, my last tip, number 5 for you, is to talk to people that like go to that school or are going to that school the same year as you. I know there's a lot of Facebook groups. If you have a Facebook, there's a lot of Facebook groups to interact with people and to know if like you would fit into that school. Or there's also a bunch of apps to do that. I know there's like an app called like Quad or like Room Surf or something like that, and those are also really good. You can talk to people from the school that are going there, and if you're like deciding before May 1st, which is actually decision day, which is this Friday, it's good to talk to people from that school, see if maybe you click with somebody that you would maybe want to room with if you did go there, and that would help you kind of narrow it down. I know that that helps a lot of people, because people that I know, they've been talking to people on the Facebook group, and that really helped them decide like where they want to go and who they would interact with and maybe room with. So that's always a good plan, and I did that. Those are always like open groups. You can just search the school like class of whatever. I'm class of 2019 because that's when I'm going to be graduating college, and then you can just join the group. They always let anybody join the group, so like you can talk to people, and it's really cool to like share your major and people have the same interests as you. I know I found some people on there that do a lot of things that I would like to do in college, or like people that have the same music taste as me and things like that. So yeah, now I'm going to get on to my whole experience. Basically, I told you guys the 7 schools that I did apply to. Now I'll tell you like which ones I got accepted into and which ones I got like stuff for. I got accepted into SUNY Oneonta, SUNY Stony Brook, California State University at Long Beach, and then I got waitlisted at Pepperdine University and Loyola Marymount University, and I have not found out from Loyola actually like after getting waitlisted if I got in or not. I don't actually find out until after May, but I did make my decision though before that. I was considering going to LMU, but I kind of veered off that track, and it was also more financially smarter for me to go to the school I chose, especially for the future, to not have as many loans, which is also a big problem because I don't want to be taking out so much money and then go into debt when I get out of school, and I'll be getting the same education I feel as I would be if I went to a different school. And then schools that I didn't tell you, the schools that I got denied from was University of Southern California, Chapman University, and I think that's the only 2. That's fine with me. I don't mind sharing that with you guys because like it's not like a big thing. I mean, I was really sad. My top school actually was USC, University of Southern California, but it is very hard from where I live. Like my school is it's a large school, but it's not a school that many people do apply there. Like not many people apply to California schools from my school, so it is harder to get into a school like that, especially when it's such a narrow and like a hard school in general. Like they critique you so much in that school. I'm happy with my decision, and I have decided to attend California State University at Long Beach. I actually have a shirt, it's over there. I was gonna get up and like change into it for this, but then again, I was really lazy and I don't feel like getting up. So yeah, anyways, I decided to attend CSULB. I'm so excited to be at this school next year, and I've met so many people so far off the Facebook group, and hopefully you guys will meet some of them next year. This school actually does have around 36,000 kids. It is in Long Beach, California, obviously, which is like right near LA, which is so convenient because I'm super excited. It's also a half hour from Disneyland, guys. Like, dream come true. Thank you very much. And 15 minutes from the beach. Like, it doesn't get any better. I don't know, guys. I don't know about you, but that doesn't get better for me. I'm going to be at the beach all the time, which is probably going to be bad. But yeah, I'm super excited to have college videos up for you guys next year when I do go there. And I'm super excited to be living in California. It's going to be so amazing. I'm super excited for that. and hopefully I'll be able to put better content out when I'm out there and like do some collabs and stuff like that. I know that like a bunch of people live out there. That is basically all I wanted to talk about today. I'm pretty sure this video is super long, but I hope this gave you guys advice, like if you're going to be applying to college in the next year or so, or even in the future. I hope that you can like rewatch this and like you'll get some advice for this. So yeah, that is all that I have to say for today. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and if it gave you some advice for the future your college application process. And that's all. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!